well over 1,000, roughly about 1,200 males in China kill themselves every fucking day. Yeah, this is where morality is askew. You go to Chairman Mao and you kick fuck out of him until he stops breathing, and then you find that Zionist Jews were behind him, and he couldn't believe as he's fucking floating down the Yangtze River like a wee fucking yellow joby. You know, he couldn't believe what he was getting away with. Why didn't these people just fucking drown the fucking cunt? Yeah? But instead, Jews came in and pretended it was communism, and of course what it was fascism, totalitarianism, and a genocidal program that basically titillates Jews, as there's no meaning to the nomadic Jew's life. Not the Jew from Canaan, you know, who have lived cheek to jowl with Palestinians for thousands of years. I'm talking about nomadic Jews who've been kicked out of every fucking country on earth for a fucking reason, and they've demoralised every other country they've been allowed back into. And the only place they're not allowed into is the Middle East, and that's where they're carpet bombing year in, year out in your name. But don't personalise it, because it's not your fault. And you can learn more about this from my escrive. Yeah, I've waxed lyrical about that in several other videos, and it's very important and informative. However, this video is dedicated to you getting better. So how am I helping you get better by talking about people killing themselves? Well, simple, right? As I've said, 3 males threw themselves off every major bridge in the country, and at least one of them, if they knew what I know about the fucking evil garbage who've done a number on him, worked on his brain until he tries to kill himself, right? Do you like this? I'm alright doing this? Is this too personal? So the thing is, the point being that he throws himself off because he is so suffering, the exhaustion, and I think one of the key factors is he wants to explain to all these insignificant sacks of shite that he isn't guilty, you know, of all the fucking bogus accusations these pathetic scumbags are obsessed with. You are what I am. You are a fill in the blank. You are them. Right? And they can feel temporarily better about themselves. Delude themselves. Yeah, that they want you to experience their hatred, their homicidal ideation, their core lack of happiness, really, because of their constant aggression, constant homicidal ideation. Bear in mind, most serial killers, right at the top, all the way down, admitted they were so-called homosexuals, were backwards, weak, self-bullshitting, bogus martyrs obsessed with whack-a-mole, and they got off on it. They all admitted it was for sexual pleasure, right? But even with their dying breath, they pretended somebody else's fault. Bad boy done it, run away. And as I've said, there's no meaning to their life. And that fucking garbage in all these other countries would just be routinely executed. In your country, they are the ones in charge, put there by Zionist Jews to finish the fucking job. Yeah? And that fucking number of shit have multiplied into acres and acres of Belfield, right? Levi Belfield has at least 11 bastard children, right? And from his prison cell, he's been given a reward of £30,000 for mopping out his own shit. He then taunted, right, the father and mother of the girl he'd murdered, and amongst others, which he's done regularly, and saying he was going to get a caravan and put it down by the river near where they live. Right? He then, I only checked one last thing about him, I've not seen anything on him for ages. He's converted to imaginary Islam so he can get more pudding and rights and his, at your expense. And so that's what they are to a T. They're obsessed with taunting and goading. But you never, it's very important, you never ever need to choose to have a negative emotional reaction. Any negative reaction at all, to anyone ever. Right? However, Western bird-brained subhuman scum, right? If they met the Dalai Lama, they'd walk up to him and say, I take it there's no curtain on your toilet window? Right? referring to his robe. And they're that unself-aware and petty and puerile and corrupt. So, if the Dalai Lama said back, good day, right? That's my boots, sound like me farting. If it's me farting, I'll let you know. The point is, the scum, it's like elated, it wants to get high, right, without wings, right? It wants to be a vampire without a proboscis, it's just got this solitary pathology. And this extreme self-delusion there is thick as shite. And like I say, they lack the mental equipment to exist in reality. They're just obsessed with lying to themselves. And if they can prey on you with this solitary pathology, this solitary trick, which is, what can it say or do with its spastic brain that you choose to have a negative reaction to, right? The more covert they'll try to milk you for sympathy. There's nothing wrong with feeling empathy and compassion for people, however, if they have evil intention. You have to understand, evil is just banal. It's just a decision anyone could make if they're a scumbag with fuck all self-respect. They can bullshit themselves, they get self-respect. Then you look at the suicide figure rate. Yeah? Paraphiliacs rarely make it out of their 40s. Right? Females now are killing themselves in their 40s in their fucking droves. Their partners are now killing their partner in the droves. Yeah. However, conversely, if you look at the rest of the world, right, in the Eastern type countries, right, there's a 400 to, my God, 3,000% increase in males executing females, the more westernised they seem, right? So, in other words, demoralised, squawking, incontinent, hate consumed, fucking evil, self-destructive amongst others, right? So think about that, 400 to 3,000% increase, right across the board. The average, I think, was over 600% increase. However, conversely, in Western countries, there's a 600% increase in females murdering men. In Denal talks, they shut the only all-female prison and referred to female crime as no longer being a crime. It's going to be dealt with in the imaginary community, right? Along with lunatics released from the lunatic asylum called care in the community, the imaginary community, giving 6 bird-brained, stupid home helps a wee pathetic pretend job to prey on the guy or to pretend they're good people nursing him. Whatever he reacts like, they will then manipulate that to get their narcissistic supply. And he can be expected to sit in nights when they fuck off. Yeah, he won't go down the local park and abuse a child. Yeah, he won't try and con someone obsessively. He won't go on the internet and look for kiddie porn. He won't, of course, because he's a lunatic. He can be expected to sit in nights and after his Tommy Tippy home helps fuck off back to their hate-consumed, quaking, rooted, raging stables or birds' cages. He'll just sit in. He won't possibly go around going, "Hi, I'm your new best friend," which is what they're caught doing. Which is why there's been a 3,000% increase in lunatics murdering innocent people, whereas before, when you had them in lunatic asylums, there was 0%, right? And see, before that, your ancestors took them to the nearest fucking river and drowned the cunts, or burned them, etc., right? And then, what showed up? Jews with a printing press, right? Dunk-a-dunk, right? And this Tommy Tippy printing press said, let's create Bedlam. Right? And they were literally hanging out the fucking windows of Bedlam in the end, because these pieces of garbage preyed on your moral conscience and said to you, it makes you a bad person if you kill lunatics. Lunatics being evil sex offenders who are maniacs, who are obsessed with bullshitting themselves and want to attack all the time. Anytime they've got a bad feeling, no matter what's the cause of that, irrationally, they'll just attack anyone they can think they can get away with, right? And they're obsessed with conning. They're all fucking identical unitards. The worst are the ones who obviously are somatic, right? However, the cerebral ones can be covert, passive-aggressive scum for ages and ages and ages. And like I say, they can get you up that fucking aisle. They can groom you up that aisle, and 7 out of every 10 of them are then wanting to take you to the kangaroo court and fleece you. Right? So, if you're single, if you don't have any friends, so-called, and you live in a Western country, result, is basically because, as I've said, 2 out of every 3 Western females over a quarter of a century old is provably, beyond any shadow of a doubt, a paedophile who gets off sexually on abusing her own children who are fatherless. Fact, right? An additional quarter are in-betweeners. Remember, they don't experience remorse, so the subhuman cunt can magically erase away any time she's been guilty of that. And then, once again, this adds to her delusion that she is a really great, good person. And anytime she provokes you, magically this, reaction of you, predates it, because she's a martyr, a long-suffering martyr who's a paedophile and abuses her children. So, has also abused her husband, systematically. And you think about this, really simple, right? Imagine a woman walking up to 2 lovely kids walking down the street, right? So there's 2 kids walking down the street. This is brilliant. We're 2 kids walking down the fucking street. This has gone brillianted, right? And a female walking up to them and going on like this. All right, Tommy and Jenny. I saw your dad the other day, and he looked drunk. Go away, missus. We just want to go home and enjoy ourselves. Yeah, I know that empty, cold house. And it's a shame, isn't it, your dad being a drunk and leaving you and just going off to be selfish. And, he's a drunk and a bum and stinking. He looked really run down and ugly. And, he looked like he was like evil and promiscuous and consumed with hatred and just a waster, and you probably don't have any money because of him. Spend it all on drink, and gambling, and he looked really stinky and run down. Right? What would you think of that fucking evil cunt? Right? If it's their mum, it's okay. Right? 2 out of every 3 Western females goes on like that with her kids all the fucking time. She deliberately married a man she intended to divorce, and then after it, to pretend she is actually a good person and the winner, and smooth over all her guilt that she doesn't feel anything about anyway, the subhuman, remorseless, morally vacant, primitive, evil fucking beast that you've been carrying all these fucking years, and Jews have multiplied this mania of this Tower of Babylon and Babylonian whores, right? These stupid, subhuman, lying sacks of shit then abuse their children by constantly telling them that the donator of half their genes, at least, is the scum of the earth. You wouldn't accept that of a fucking female walking down the street, but it's alright if it's their mum constantly lying about this innocent man, right? And no matter what, these kids are more likely to be antisocial. They don't have to be. As I've said, this is a really great opportunity for you to become non-reactionary. Really great opportunity. I chose that period of my life to become non-reactionary. I chose to become even more sensitive and understanding, and then by doing so, all these evil subhuman cunts revealed their true self to me. And like I say, they've been multiplied by genocidal Zionist Jews for a reason. And as I've said, 7 decades ago, just 7 decades ago, you saw it in Dresden. And these worthless sacks of shit can be relied upon to be the cannibal sheep that prey on people like you. And even when these pieces of garbage know damn well that what I'm saying is true, these pieces of shit don't want you to wake up. Why? Because they genuinely see you as being narcissistic supply. This subhuman, evil, hellbound sack of shit, right, who doesn't believe in law, a real law, only believes in these fictional laws, right? That sack of shit sees you being broken down into your bed, right, as being, just chasing my director, it sees you, becoming exhausted as narcissistic supply. They actually genuinely believe they're energy vampires. Now you could become angry about that. Or what you could do is just simply see them as they truly are. They are the scum of the fucking earth, but they're worthless shite, They are grossly self-deluded fucking scum, and they're planted everywhere. And we did a social experiment recently where we proved with witnesses right across the board what the Native American Indians called, forked tongues, right? And which emanated from Europe, these forked tongues, right? We proved both Celts and the Europeans who went into North America do not give a fuck about anything other than this imaginary butt hurt, histrionic butt hurt, which then propels them into greater fiction, which the unitard, its solitary ambition is, what can it say or do with its spastic brain you choose to have this negative emotional reaction to, right? And we proved beyond any shadow of a doubt they couldn't give a fuck about paedophiles raping in their area, which there's a simple, obvious solution to. They couldn't give a fuck about genocidal Zionist Jews. They couldn't give a fuck about anything. All they give a fuck about is, you must choose to feel like killing me. Genuinely. Because then magically transference has taken place. However, they were infuriated because, my publicist, Shay, didn't choose to have this negative emotional reaction because, they are absolute fucking garbage. In fact, she had the reaction you would expect of me when I was 4.5. Just let them have it. And I absolutely assure you, let them have it verbally at the time. Just tell the truth, just ignore what they've said and let them have it. No matter what you stand to lose, even your life, your livelihood, fucking finances, your teeth, whatever, do it anyway, right? Let the cunt fucking have it, right? Especially if it's some wee fucking obnoxious whore. If it's in a 6'9" pig, right, it's female, right? If it's in a 4'9" female, right, if they go on like this, they're both female. They're not real men. Real men don't go on like that. Human men don't go on like that. As I've said, behind them all, they're cut off from reality, so all they care about is their histrionic butt hurt. And they want you to experience this. If you don't fall for their crap, well, they'll lower the level of respect they afford you. They lower the level of respect that you deserve by 200%, right? And that shite, if you don't pretend along with Spasmo, who has nothing but evil intentions in mind for you, the audacious, warped, corrupt sack of shit, then wants you to choose to feel like killing them, because this is how they want you to choose to feel. Basically because you saw through their corruption. They are peddling pity play, their Ted Bundy pity play, right? Behind their cloak, there's the dagger. They're shite, they're worthless shite. And if you promote a culture where females are unbidden, and you promote so-called homosexuals who are lying paraphiliacs, and you see females laid bare, the extent with which these evil cunts are prepared to lie to, not including the 10% who are on cake rations. Homosexuals don't exist. Putin announced publicly that it's a crime to pretend that you're homosexual anymore. It's a crime to actually try to teach homosexuality, and especially to children, or promote it in any way, shape or form. Why? Because he knows Zionist Jews invented the concept of gay. Remember, the exact opposite, being backward. Homosexuals barely make it out of their 40s. Why? Because they are consumed with fucking hatred, because you let them bullshit to that extent, as I exposed in Erol and paraphiliacs, right? They are paraphiliacs, which means they're the worst type of female brain in a male body subject to testosterone, and encouraged culturally to destroy themselves, right? And the existential envy of those whose lives are worth living is what is behind Holocaust after Holocaust, when they use garbage like that and corrupt females exactly like that to destroy everything. And they prey on the innocent 10% of females in male body, as well as the 10% of females in female body, who are then locked in the fucking house and out of circulation, just like your good self. So if you're male, in the 30%, if you're female, you're in the 10%. So, and that includes so-called lesbians who just have a male brain. And these Jews want to pervert all these people, destroy all these people, get them to kill themselves, kill each other. And they can stand back then and believe that, having been an inbred tribe of subhuman evil scum who've been decried by every great man throughout history, from Yehoshua of Nazareth all the way through to George Washington, who renounced the Jews, as did Thomas Jefferson, and Benjamin Franklin specifically at great length said, you know, to renounce them. However, what you can't do now is undo what they've done, which is they have multiplied the worst element constantly, promoting, multiplying that number. So they could fucking blend in and, as I've said, promote cannibal sheep who, even when they know they've been weaponised by genocidal Jews, they'll still, as solitary pathology, they'll still go ahead and behave in a manner they have to be shot through the fucking face for. Grant their fucking wish. So, if you do grant their wish, you don't have to have any emotional reactions, as I've said. You just grant it, you know. So, when the cunt tries its shit on with you, what can I say with my spastic brain that I would need shot for my face for? What can I say with my spastic brain that I would need shot for my face for? Spastic brain, wonderful, wonderful spastic brain. What can I say or do with my spastic brain I would need shot for my face for? Spastic brain, wonderful, wonderful spastic brain. What can I say with my spastic brain that I would need shot for my face for? Spastic brain, wonderful, wonderful spastic brain. What can I say or do with my spastic brain that I would need shot for my face for? Spastic brain, wonderful, wonderful spastic brain. Shoot them through the fucking face. The point is, that's them to a T, they're maniacs, they're bird brains, right? And as I've said, you know, when you look at monkeys, you know, they're actually birds in simian ape-like shape. They're birds. And like I say, when you see a female, think 90% chance she's a bird. Yeah? Fact. So, in a nutcake, that is precisely the psychology. And it took me a long time to be absolutely certain. And it was only because of how consumed with hatred they truly are from this very early age that blinds them to peripheral moral reasoning, from prefrontally and peripherally. You know, and so this determination to fricassee, you know, and get the result for the fricassee. Fricasseed, you know. I'll have lemonade, thanks. And the point is that the determination to delude themselves, irrespective, because they don't experience remorse and don't appreciate anything, etc., etc. Therefore, they're determined to delude themselves, and their ideal state is a delusion state, and I'll impersonate it, right? Because they're backward, as I put at the very end of Erol and Paraphiliacs for a reason. They're not only obsessed with you choosing to have this negative reaction, right? I call them a unitard because when they act having the exact opposite reaction from the one they presume you should expect of them, this is still why they're a unitard, because it's still wanting you to choose to feel like killing them. I'll simplify it, right? They say or do something that they need to be kicked through the face till they stop breathing for, right? After which they then go, right? Which is, you see the mania, right? So, what are they doing when they go, think about that state, that's the state they want to go in. Saying a lack of self-awareness, that's their ideal state. Right? They're the scum of the fucking earth, whether it's passive-aggressive or overtly. They're having the exact opposite reaction from the one the unitard presumes you expect of them. You don't give a fuck about them, you're not obsessed with the reaction. The solitary pathology of theirs, that just has this, you know, this backwards, forwards, backwards, forwards, backwards, forwards. And like I say, when they're having the exact opposite reaction from the one they presume you expect of them, right? They're still hoping you choose to feel like killing them because of it. So they do something that they hope you choose to feel like killing them because of, right? And then they act the exact opposite. They trick themselves into feeling elated because they think that must get the negative reaction. And then what they want to do is add another proverbial straw, hoping to break the camel's back. And then whatever else, you know, you're wearing your bathroom curtains. So their shit's fucking garbage, and it didn't work on me in infancy. So I was in a prime position to study that fucking shit and The scum that I've exposed in the past and I'll expose again in the future,